everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Johnstone, and we have Rob Miller with us here today. Rob, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
It's wonderful to have you. So you have been making waves inside the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, inspiring a bunch of people. Would you mind sharing just kind of the results you've seen over the last, 4 months?
So really it's been a great experience utilizing some of the coaching tools that I've been using within your program, as well as some of the AI tools that you have in the loan officer CRM program. But I truthfully, it's just kind of been a perfect storm for me. And it's just really, as Carl had mentioned, it's really just getting on the phone is really what it comes down to. And it's always nice when you can get on the phone with people and tell them that you can save them 200, 300, 400, 500 bucks a month. And I had quite a few people that I was in the 700 to 800 savings a month. It's always an easier sale when you can do that.
Yeah.
But just getting on the phone and talking to people and getting organized and whatnot has just been is really what it's all about. And so, yeah, I was able to utilize the market in late August, get people prepared, get people in mid-September, get rates locked. I did a little finagling with how I pay myself in commission. We were able to do that on a quarterly basis, but did a few things, so I was able to get knock things out the door, so to speak.
That is amazing. And if I remember correctly, in July, you were doing like 6 to 9 loans a month-ish, somewhere around that range?
July, I think I closed eight in July. I closed, so yeah, right in there.
Awesome. And then August was a bump to 6?
Yeah, it was down. It was down a little bit, down a little bit for August. But that was just that was the peak of the horrible rates. When I use a program, not to toot Barry's horn, but Barry Habib and MBS Highway. I use that system, and he's phenomenal at getting people prepared for what the future is looking like.
Yep.
When it comes to marketing, and the way the market is going to interact with rates. But he's done a great job with that, and just getting prepared. So August was me getting prepared for September and October.
Awesome. And how did you do in September and October?
I just about said December. September, I closed 67. So I jumped big time. And then in October, I think I had one that fell into November, so I think I was at 42.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is that is a huge bump. So everybody's going to want to know, were they all refis? Like, where did the majority of that business come from?
So I obviously, if you look at my numbers, July, August, even June and May, purchase business. I still do a lot of purchase business. I have a couple phenomenal real estate agents that I work with purchase business. And so I'd say, six, I could probably look at it here because I'm very analytical. So I have everything written down. I had, of the 67, I had 11 purchases for September, and the rest refis. October, I had 5 purchases, and the rest are refis.
Yeah, that's still strong base. The base of the pyramid is that purchase business, but then when the opportunity comes, there you go. Now rates have ticked back up, but it seems like you're still doing great on the refi business. Where are you getting it from, and where are you finding the opportunities? Is all of it coming from the database?
It's all 100% database driven.
That is amazing. And what are you doing to get the word out, get people in, and then how are you processing that much communication to be able to take that many apps?
So I literally just get on the phone. I'm just literally picking up the phone, for real. It's nothing more than that. Processing of the apps. I reorganized my week. So Monday was doing all my loans that came in over the weekend, getting those processed, getting those ready to go. The vast majority of the people in September and October were locked in mid-September.
Awesome.
So it was when the rates were the lowest. I'd say the vast majority of them were around there. I had a couple that kind of tried to get into even a little bit better. They thought October, around early October, they were going to get a good boost, and that didn't happen, and they paid the price for it. Got about a 0.25%, 0.5% higher rate than they would have if they did it in September. But it was really just picking up the phone and getting them called. I utilize my company's CRM to just do some basic marketing, social media wise.
Yep.
And I use the loan officer CRM to do some stuff. And other than that, yeah, it was really just picking up the phone, and I just like my Mondays. Even still at this point, my Mondays are 100%. I don't take calls. The only people I talk to is my loan manager and my processor on the phone. And then, of course, colleagues that might call me or that I share office space with. But for the most part, I don't take client calls on Mondays, and I am literally just processing things. I also use a program called Flowify, which my loan manager has access to. So customers send all their documentation. I'm 100% on these last 2 months, 100% automated in terms of that. I send out exactly, you need to send me this stuff, and they send it out, and my loan manager gets all that information and processes everything behind the scenes.
That is amazing. That is awesome. So on Mondays, are you just managing the business, or is that your focus time to make those outbound phone calls?
That is Tuesday and Wednesday is the focus time to make those outbound calls.
And are you spending the whole day on outbound calls, or how much time
Pretty
are you
much,
spending?
yeah. Well, at this point, I'm done with that because I've really hit my hit all my clients that I wanted to hit. I got a few people that were looking into January, just because I want to make sure I'm not EPOing deals.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, it's for the most part, I'm still making outbound calls. I'm still following up clients, but I haven't really, I hammered it in September and October and got people in. And so my stuff that I think I'll be at 22 for November, all refis for November. And I know it's slowing coming down, but I mean, I'm literally calling the people that I've talked to over the last 2 years.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why we call it farming the database, because you can't always harvest, right? If you always harvest, the land goes, but you kill the land, right? Mm-hmm. And so the nurture time is now. And that's when we generate referrals. That's where we transition back into purchase business and making the calls and nurturing the people, giving the value, giving potentially talking about, hey, do you need somebody for tax time? Do you need somebody, all those other resources that we can provide people. We go back into nurture mode and start getting referrals. And then the relationship is there. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they remember you. And then in the future, you're prepared for the next time you get the opportunity to roll through the database and do it again. So are you pivoting that time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays now to start making qualified agent calls and
Absolutely.
to start? Yeah.
Yep. So I cut down, instead of doing an entire day where I was calling 100, 150 people a day. I've now cut it down to using Carl's system, the Thor's hammer.
Yes.
And so yeah, so my Thor's hammer is 2.5 hours in the morning on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
That is amazing. Can you give me, because a lot of people hear about Thor's hammer, they know what Thor's hammer is. You get a qualified agent list, you call them, but there's a lot of people that get stuck, or the phone is like 1,000 pounds and they know what to do, but they need that extra little bit to pick up the phone the first time and start to make those calls. Can you give us a breakdown what that call session ends up looking like how many people do you call? How many people do you talk to? What do you see at the end of it?
So I take my top 40. So
Yep.
using a few of the coaching programs I've done, I kind of intertwine the core, intertwine Carl's program, intertwine another program called Growth Only Coaching. Everyone has the same kind of thing, but a little bit different terminology. So I usually just take my top 40 agents that I continually market to and send information to, and I use the loan officer CRM to warm them up and get um, the automation,
Yep.
the realtor automation going, so they at least see me on a regular basis.
Yep.
I use one of the other programs that I used, growth coaching. They have value bombs, and a couple of the guys in there do online. I lost my brain there. Newsletters and
Yep.
just kind of like a Monday update to real estate agents. Just, hey, these are the things that have happened over the last week, and I kind of stolen on with their permission, kind of taken it and adjusted it into my own thing. And I literally every other week for this entire since January, I've been doing it. So um, and then it's just a matter of picking up the phone and contacting these people. They know who I am. They see my emails every other week, and they get my calls every month.
That is
Um,
amazing.
and
Um, have you launched the offer to convert their leads for them?
I have not.
That's a huge winner. That is, we get tremendous response of, hey, qualified agent, send me your old Zillow realtor.com leads. I'll work them for you for free, turn them into pre-approvals and refer them back. Amy in the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, she had two whales. One of them was doing over 50 deals a year, reached out to her and asked her about the program and started to open up the relationship. So that is the first 4 emails in that 12-month qualified agent activator campaign.
Yep.
So those could be the next campaign that you launch out to them. It works really well.
Sure. Sure.
Awesome. Um, in measuring the results that you get from making the phone calls and the results that you get from sending out the emails and the automations, and 90% of people are just sending the emails and the automations and not making the phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you book the majority of the appointments? Where do you get the majority of the results from?
99.9% is the phone call.
Yeah.
I mean, I do so much better, and I joke about it here, but I do so much better on the phone. When I talk to people, yeah, it's nice to kind of warm them up a little bit with the emails and stuff. But again, it's just a crutch to not reach out to agents, not reach out to referral partners. Literally, I've been in the industry for 20 plus years doing this. I got a lot of gray. It keeps graying and graying and graying, but it's literally the only thing to do is picking up the phone and calling people. I joke with friends of mine that do nothing but text message.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, that's great, but just pick up the phone and call me.
Yep.
You got a quick question, call me.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate the millennial Gen Z, where everything's done via text message. I'm like, you got something to tell me? Pick up the phone and call me. I take rejection very well.
Yep.
So if I'm getting rejected by an agent, it's just a simple, quick rejection, and they'll get a call from me in 3 months.
Yep.
I get a straight up rejection, they'll get a call from me in 3 months. I will not stop contacting them until they tell me to leave them alone.
Yep.
And then I will. And then I just realize that they are not people that want to expand their business and actually work with someone that knows what the heck they're doing.
Yep. Next, there's far more of them than there is of you. And inside the Loan Officer CRM, you're getting 300 qualified agents a month inside the system that you can work. I mean, 3,600 qualified realtors a year, there's enough, you know?
Plenty, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
I can only work with I'd say 7 to 10 at max.
Yeah.
Without having LOAs and people working as loan officers underneath me.
You know, that's a really interesting. So if you were to say like a qualified agent in your business, how many deals do you get? How many referrals do you get from a qualified agent?
I want to see one every other month minimum.
Yep.
Total of 6 a year, I would guess. Be a
And that's
great.
funded, right?
That's funded. Yep.
Yep. And then so if like how many of the referrals that you get do you fund? About 25%?
Oh, what? I truthfully think I'm 60 to 70% closing.
My man.
I
Yeah.
I feel like I'm that good of a salesperson. When it comes to it, my value, what I can offer them, they just don't leave me.
Yeah.
Um, but I would probably say something around there truthfully, and it's not being boastful. I mean, obviously there's confidence there, but I would say just to be simple math purposes, 50-50. So if I want to close 6, I got to get at least a dozen from them
Yep.
because 50% of them are 520 credit scores.
Yep.
50% of them are they want to buy. I just talked to a real estate agent who sent me a client right before we got on the phone. I was talking on the phone. She's like, "So, did you get him pre-approved?" I'm like, "Yeah, but they can't buy that $450,000 house you're showing them today. They can
Right.
afford 210. I
Yeah.
don't know why they think they can afford more." So and that's the other side. That's the other part of the 50%.
Yeah. But I love the being upfront and working the relationship with the partner. I think so many people think, oh, that's bad news. I don't want to tell my real estate partner that I can't get this person qualified for what they want, where you look at it as an opportunity to actually have a real conversation with the realtor and just build the relationship using the news.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
I hate wasting my time and I hate wasting their time. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Pull the band-aid.
Yeah, that's it. Rob, an insanely valuable conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time. Where do people go to find out more about you, information about you, your company? Where do
Uh,
people go?
so people can go and check me out. I have a website, www.madcityhomeloans.com.
Awesome.
MADCITYHOMELOANS.com. My company is named Provisor. We are a smaller boutique, as the owner of the company says, lender. We are a mortgage banker and a broker, so we do both sides of the transaction. We fund our own funds, fund our own loans, as well as we have brokerage relationships that we can utilize. And you can just look up provisor.com.
That is amazing. Well, thank you again for being on the show. To all of our listeners, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks, Chris.